Okay, welcome. It is Sunday, April 18th, and this is the Q&A section of our Morgellons call. So,
thank you, Robin. If anyone would like to ask a question, or please text those numbers that we had given you. So how are you doing today, Robin?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, I have one question. How do you use ozone?
Ozone, do you want to handle that one?
Yeah, well, we don't handle it exactly the same way, but I'll give my view.
Okay.
All right. Sure. So when you're dealing with your environment, you want to start with the simplest solution first, which is, for many people, just spraying with ammonia. And it doesn't always work for everyone. So in the book, there's levels where you have to up your game and get more aggressive. And one of the ways of getting more aggressive is with ozone. Now, what I personally found was that ozone worked best in conjunction with pesticides. And so I was dealing with 3 different kinds of super-resistant mites, springtails, and Morgellons. So what I would do is you can't be in the house. The ozone sucks the oxygen out and will kill or hurt anything that breathes. So I would set off flea bombs in the whole house, leave the house for 2 hours, come back, and then run ozone for 4 to 6 hours, and then come back and air the house out. And I did that every 10 days. I did it first with the triple pesticide that's listed in the book, but this second round of infestation that I had, the triple pesticide wasn't working for me, and that's when I went to flea bombs and sprays that kill fleas and bed bugs, also kill mites and springtails. So I personally would never recommend ozoning for less than 2 hours, because what I found was if you're going to do one room at a time, it just pushes it. If you do it like a half an hour, it pushes it to the next room, whatever it is. And so I actually got enough ozone generators to do my whole house at once. And that's how I do ozone. But, you know, just like with the diet, you have to experiment. You have to find what works for you. You can do one room at a time. And I do that now. Like, I'm ozoning my downstairs as we speak. And I'm in I have 3 stories in my house. And I'm on the main floor, and I'm not affected by the ozone. And I'm ozoning for 2 hours, just as a maintenance thing. So I hope that answers the question, but that's just my viewpoint on it.
Yes, thank you. Now, the manufacturer recommends to do it 21 days straight, not to miss one day. And they recommend 1 unit for every 500 square feet. Now, if the bedroom is 12 by 12, that's 144 square feet. So you go by that in determining how many ozone generators you're going to need.
Right.
And like Robin said, it's probably best if you could do the whole house at the same time, but you could do segment it. You could do that. Right. Now, they recommend, it comes with a timer, they recommend that you run it for a half hour, set the timer for an hour off, run it for another half hour, set the timer for another hour off, run it for another half hour. So you've got about 3 hours of ozone treatment, and then it's off and you can air the room out before you occupy it. But the trick is 21 days, because there are 40,000 species of different mites. Not that we are impacted by all of them, maybe only a dozen or so, but the gestation period, the period of time it takes for an egg from the time it's laid to the time it's hatched, 21 days seems to be the longest. So that's what we recommend for ozone. And again, it's good to use ozone along with other things, spraying ammonia, electrostatic sprayers as well, and using enzymes and so forth. Okay, any other questions?
Well, I did have one question. Can Morgellons affect your heart, since Morgellons is tied with Lyme, and Lyme disease has been shown to affect the heart, particularly pericarditis? Now, I had chronic Lyme for years and years, and it never affected my heart, and I've never heard of Morgellons affecting the heart, but and I texted them that, but I'm asking you if you know anything about that.
Well, it can affect basically every organ. I haven't heard of it necessarily being affecting the heart, essentially, but I wouldn't be surprised. An update that I have to go out very soon, I forgot to send it out, is about people often ask about COVID. Should I get the vaccination from COVID? For COVID, will it impact Morgellons? The answer is it's not going to affect your Morgellons. However, there are ingredients in the, I know in the Moderna, there's a glycol and there's sucrose. There are 2 glycols and a sucrose, which means it's going to be like you're off the diet for a couple of days. And it will, but hey, I'd rather deal with the symptoms of the parasites for a couple of days than the 3 months that you were in bed fighting it, or 6 feet under.
Right.
So get your shots, and recognize if you do have symptoms afterwards, parasitic itching and biting, it's from the ingredients in the vaccine. Any other questions?
Yeah, I was just diagnosed with sleep apnea, and I think it's because of the whatever it is, it crawls up into my sinuses and I can't breathe.
With what?
And
I'm sorry, you were diagnosed with what?
Sleep apnea, because I stopped breathing in my sleep. And this just started happening. I've been dealing with this for 11 years. I'm wondering, is there anything that I can do to clear that out, to stop, to where I stop breathing. I have to get one of those CPAP machines. I'm worried about it being contaminated, and I'm going to have to clean that, figure out how to clean that thing. Is it going to help?
I don't think sleep apnea has anything to do with Morgellons.
Well, it's in the book that if it's left untreated, that it can turn into sleep apnea can be one of the things that results. That's what it's in the book.
Is that in Richard's book? I think. Is that in your book, Richard?
Yeah, it is.
Richard, is that in your book?
I don't remember. It's not uncommon that people have infestations in their nose, nasal area, ears, and you can clean them out. There are several things you can do. You can use a cotton swab and saturate it with Nature's Gift and put it in your nose. You can use an atomizer that you can buy, and you can put some Nature's Gift. You can talk to Robin about how to do that and put with the saline wood and some Nature's Gift and breathe it that way through your nose. So there are things that you can do, and Robin is pretty well versed in that. Do you want to add to that, Robin?
Well, I mean, like, if it's in your sleep apnea has to do with your something closing in your throat, and I've never heard of Morgellons doing that, but they can get into your nose and your lungs, and you can get a nebulizer, and you can add a few drops of Nature's Gift. You can get a prescription for one and use the prescription medicine and add some Nature's Gift to that and breathe it 3 times a day. You can use steam and put a few drops of Nature's Gift and oregano oil and biocidin, and breathe that 3 times a day, and it'll clear your lungs and your nose. You can use a Q-tip and put Nature's Gift, or even like a over-the-counter antibiotic cream, and put it inside your nose or your ears, for your nose and ears, and it will help. So all of those things help, but that's the...
Yeah, Ethel, are you on the call? Are you still here? Ethel?
I'm still here. Have anything to do with your earlobe? Like, my daughter's earlobe. Oh, I'm sorry.
Ethel?
I'm still here.
Yes,
I'm here.
what is that device that you use? You got it from Amazon that you use for...
Nebulizer?
No, it wasn't a nebulizer.
Actually, it was an infuser, like essential oils.
Oh, okay.
Essential oil. I just bought one of those yesterday. It do work. I just did.
Yeah, those are helpful also.
I didn't put the Nature's Gift in there. I put like maybe just 2 or 3 drops of like the clove oil, and then when it made the plume of steam, just inhale a bit of that, and then you give myself a break, and then do it again. But yeah. I have found the most effective thing to help me with the nose, the mouth, and the ear has been a colloidal silver gel. It's very gentle. The one that I have is gentle. It doesn't sting. There's no smell. And it's been very, very effective for me with eyes, ears, nose, and around the mouth.
Okay.
I apologize, but what is silver? When you say silver, is it like a spray or? It's a colloidal silver, and I use a colloidal silver gel. I think Richard has a colloidal silver in the store as well. Okay. But I get the gel because it seems to, by being a gel, it stays there longer than a liquid, and I have more control over it. Pardon me?
Where do you get the gel? What's it called?
It's colloidal silver gel. Richard, I don't recall exactly the brand that you have in there. Is it the Sovereign Silver? That's
we have our own silver. It's 12 parts per million, but it's not a gel. Where do you get your gel?
Okay. Oh, it's on Amazon.
So just search for colloidal silver gel on Amazon.
Right, on Amazon, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
May I interject about the colloidal silver? Ethel suggested that to me 2 weeks ago, and it's a miracle. You can get it in health food stores, some health food stores. Now, Whole Foods, for example, stopped selling a lot of colloidal silver items because they told me FDA stopped. They had a directive to stop selling it because a lot of people were using some of the products with silver for treating COVID. So it may be a little more difficult to get now, but I had no problem getting it from one health food store and lots of Amazon. Lots more expensive, but available. And the spray was great for my eyes. The spray was wonderful for my eyes, and I used it for the nose, and it was a miracle. Amazing what came out. Just amazing. It's followed by a nosebleed, but a lot of stuff came out. I could not believe it. I mean, unbelievable.
I'm sorry, I didn't get what she said it was.
We have it in our store. We have it in our store. 12 parts per million. Colloidal silver.
You do?
You don't have to get it.
Oh, wonderful. Also, it helped in the ear. Yesterday, Ethel told me to put it in my ear, and amazing. It works. It's itching again now.
Okay, anyone else like to share or ask a question?
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay, so Richard, when I used your Nature's Gift, when I was in the tub, it was like some type of green stuff coming out of my body. Like, I can actually see, things coming out. Like, it was like a turquoise color. I'm not sure what that was.
That's what it's for. It's there to debride, extract stuff out of your skin. That's the purpose.
There was someone else who had a question, a guy that kept getting interrupted.
I'm sorry, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
I got a How you doing, Rich? I got a question for you. I'm doing your diet. Basically, I'm looking at it like it's a caveman diet, and I'm staying on it. The only problem is what we talked about on the phone that one time, to soak in. I can't because I had to go to the hospital. I had kidney problems, so I don't know if that'll worsen it. I'm not a doctor, so I'm afraid to do it. Do you have any other advice what I could soak with? And how do you feel about seeing this doctor right now in Florida, Dr. Minkoff? I wanted to know your input on alternative medicine.
Well, I don't know what the treatment is. I mean, the typical treatment, the bottom line is that to be totally ethical and within the CDC guidelines, every one of us should be going to specialists in dealing with Morgellons, aka Lyme disease. Now, there are many LLMDs in the country, Lyme literate medical doctors. Many of them don't know anything about Morgellons disease, but bottom line is most people with Morgellons disease does have Lyme disease. 90%. Robin would say 100%. I stick with 90. The treatment is usually a series of antibiotics over a period of time in rotation, different antibiotics. This could be very helpful with people who, like, maybe you're in a household where nobody helps you and everybody makes fun of you and can't believe that you have Morgellons. So you don't need their help. You may not need to actually clean your environment that much. I would definitely recommend doing the diet. It will facilitate any medical treatment that you might be doing. But the research that's listed on the Morgellons site indicates that a study they did with 12 people, 10 of them had Lyme disease, 2 of them had Morgellons disease involved with the Lyme disease, that after the treatment was done with the antibiotics, it did not cure the Lyme disease. So the bottom line is, if you need quick, immediate relief, do the antibiotics, use it as a crutch, do this program so that after a few months, perhaps you can come off of the antibiotics. And if you're doing the protocol, then you may not relapse, perhaps. I can't make a guarantee in that sense because I'm not here to treat. I'm here just to educate you.
Right. What he exactly does is, real quick, he does natural medicine. He's an infectious disease and he's a healer. He believes in Chinese medicine. I don't know too much about it, that I have to pay a lot of money. It's like hydrotherapy and stuff like that. I just want to know if you knew anything about that stuff.
Well, you're a research guinea pig there. So God bless them and hope it works. You can report back to us what your findings are and if it works or not. I can't address the issues because I'm not familiar with the treatments.
Well, I have talked to a number of people who use naturopaths, just like what you're talking about, and it can be very helpful, but I've never talked to anyone where it worked without the diet.
I'm on it.
So my doctor used CDC differential and that Borrelia and that S-word, Borrelia, whatever.
I'm sorry,
is that in the line.
Nick. We were talking with Nick.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I tell you what, I'm scared to come off the diet because I still get outbreaks. If I gotta soak in some of Richard's product, borax. I seen a bunch of stuff. I seen bugs come out.
Right,
Borax,
and so you want to be careful with the diet.
I tell you what else I get. I had to get out today because it gets overwhelming, depression, what he says in his book. I mean, a lot of stuff that scares the hell out. That could be scary when you can't be around people. I know everybody else feels the same way I do, and then people think you're out of your mind. You know, like you're making it up or something. That's the part that gets me so mad and so, you know. But I got out of the house today, which was good. But you know, you're still in fear that, you know, if you bump into God forbid, if I bump into a little girl, oh my God, you know, or in the store or something, you're afraid to go anywhere.
Yeah, my daughter is 5, so it's horrible when kids.
Well, Nick, I just want to, excuse me, I just want to finish talking to Nick. This is Robin.
Okay.
So, Nick, you know, you will get better, and the stuff coming out of your skin will get less, and when you start feeling more confident, just add one food at a time, slowly. Wait a few days, and add the stage 2 foods, you know, and if you have to back off, you will.
The other thing is, the other thing I want to ask real quick, because I really don't. I spray. Down here they sell ammonia. It's easy to get, so I spray it in the car. Is that helpful? Is that going to kill it? Because I had to leave one hotel. I caught something jumping in the. I said, "What the? That's not a bed bug. That damn jumped in. It was trapped inside one of the drawers." I had to get out of there because, my God, they weren't cleaning the room, and it was a nice hotel because of COVID. I had to check around to see who cleans the room because that will just breed whatever it is. It breeds like wildfire. If you don't keep up on it, it'll kill you. Mental.
Nick, may I make one suggestion? And that is, if you're in and out of hotel rooms, that you pick up the electrostatic sprayer that we have. They're like half price now. It's a Ryobi sprayer. It's about $450 compared to $850 for the other one. And take that everywhere with you, and just treat every room that you go in.
Right.
Okay, like everything, the walls, everything.
Well, you spray it, and it goes everywhere. I mean, to do a hotel room should take you no more than 3 minutes, the whole room.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know nothing about electronic sprayer, because I'll tell everybody the truth. I'm dyslexic, and I gotta watch the video to learn something.
Yeah, the electrostatic sprayer, and there are several. You can use enzymes with it. There's a couple of. I would suggest you use the organic disinfectant, and there's also an antimicrobial, but you only have to use that one time.
Right, but ammonia will kill them, though, right?
Well, not all. I mean, the only reason we have ozone and the electrostatic sprayer is that because there are some organisms that are more resistant, and ammonia doesn't affect them really. That's the only reason we have these other things.
Oh, I did not know that. I did not know, sir. Okay.
So we cross our fingers and hope ammonia solves the problem. If it doesn't, then we have these other things. You know, somebody had emailed me an alternative to ammonia a few weeks ago, and my left or right brain totally forgot about it, and I lost it. If you're on the call, please send it in or share it.
But I know real quick, I've been staying on the diet, and I noticed they're on and off. Like, is that what you experienced, Richard? Like on and off sensations when you experienced this in your life? Like at the end, like
whenever I made a slight mistake with the diet, I paid for it, and so that's the way it is in the beginning, and it's real easy to make little mistakes. And then you have to figure out. That's why I always suggest keeping a diary of everything that you eat, so that if you start feeling symptoms, you look back a day or two, or even just a couple of hours to see what you ate just before, and then check the ingredients. You know, many times you eat something and you think it's okay, but when you actually check the ingredients, you'll see that there's sugar in it or a glycol of some kind.
Yeah, I look at the back of the package now constantly at the store, at any store I go to, and if I see sugar, it's very hard sometimes. It's difficult because our society, most of the stuff does have sugar in it, but there is stuff out there if you look.
Yeah, they're out there to pump sugar into you. Now, in the book and in the diet, it says boar's head products are good. I think they've changed the ingredients because more recently people have sent me ingredients that says they got some sugar in it and some other stuff. So I'm going to have to take the boar's head products out of the diet.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know that.
May I interject something here? You were talking about the electrostatic sprayer. And
yeah.
I don't know if it was Ethel, if I read something somewhere about using menthol crystals to put them in a coffee cup warmer in the room. How does that work?
You want to talk about that? You shared that with me a few weeks ago, Robin, and I never made the update yet. But how did you discover a good way of using the menthol crystals?
Ethel told me about it.
Ethel told you about it. Yeah. Well, I
must have been Rob.
Huh? Was it you, Ethel?
No, I don't recall talking to Alice about menthol crystals. Yeah.
I thought it was you. I don't know where I got it from about the menthol.
I don't know.
Let Robin go through it. She knows. She's had a discovery.
I've had great success with menthol crystals. I use them in little baggies that are Ziploc bags that I put shoes in, or I'm storing things, and the fumes build up inside. I use Ziploc freezer bags or bigger bags, and the fumes build up inside the bag and literally kill things. But you can use them similar to how you use an ozone machine, where you get a little, it's like, I don't know what you call it. It's like you would put melted wax. It's a wax heater. And I think the ones with actual candles work better than the electric ones. They have electric ones. You put a candle on the bottom and you put a pile of menthol crystals on the top. And you don't want to be in a room when you do this because you don't want to breathe in menthol crystals. They're like poison, and they are poison to things that breathe. So I did them, I would do room by room, closing the door and burning menthol crystals. And I did that for a couple of weeks, and it kind of pushed things over the edge into getting rid of things.
Will it affect plants? Will it affect plants? I have lots of plants in the room. Will it affect that area?
Well, I don't have a lot of plants. I can't tell you that. You'd have to try it and see, but I doubt that it affects plants. I don't know. I don't know.
I
had springtails, and they love plants, so I got rid of all my plants.
How do you know when to move to stage 2 of the diet?
Well, you go there when you're free of itching and biting. I did a scorecard. 0, I felt no itching and biting. 6, it was as bad as it could possibly be. It would cause me to jump out of bed at 3 a.m. and jump into a hot bath. That was a 6. And when I was on the diet and got down to about maybe 1/2 to 1 on the scale, then I might try a stage food diet, one of the stage foods in the stage 2, and see how that worked. And then if I stayed there at 0 to 1/2, I would go to add another food in stage 2.
Ideally, you do it slowly and wait a few days, because as you get better, sometimes it can be a few days before the reaction shows up. Like it's not always instantaneous like it was when you started.
Yeah, the better you get, the longer it takes for you to react to food. I call it a time dilation factor in the book.
Okay. And the other question was, with the electrostatic sprayer, like, what do you put in there? Because I don't really have any kind of disinfectant. I've just been using the ammonia.
You do never put ammonia in in the electrostatic sprayer. The ammonia will totally destroy it. We have in the store, we have clean 'em up zyme, so you can put in enzymes. We have Infect disinfectant, which is an organic thyme-based disinfectant. It smells like thyme. You can spray your kitchen counters. You can spray your food. Doesn't matter. It's totally organic and safe. It's like eating thyme, really. We have Metaclean, which is a chemical disinfectant. It's about maybe 6 times less expensive than thyme, but you don't want to spray food or counter tables or counters or anything.
But it's awesome. I love the Metaclean.
So the Metaclean. And then we have the antimicrobial, which you only spray once every 6 months or so. And you can mix the disinfectants with the antimicrobial. You can mix them together. I'm not sure about mixing them with the enzymes, though.
Okay.
I mixed them with the enzymes.
Okay.
It was good. I definitely saw results. I have a question for Ethel from Andrea. She wondered if you can't do it like now, maybe you could do it through Richard. She would love it if you would share some of your vegetarian recipes, because she's mostly eating meat and veggies, and she'd like some inspiration regarding veggie food.
Great, Ethel. Yeah.
Okay. Have her get in touch. Richard, have her to get in touch with me. I'll give my number toward the end, and I'll share information with her at that time.
Do you want to give some tips right now for the video?
Oh, some tips for the video. Well,
yeah.
one of my favorite vegetarian things is like cabbage steak. I get a nice green cabbage that's solid. I cut it into about 2-inch thick slices. I'll put those into like a baking pan, drizzle the rice bran oil over them, and some of the smoked paprika and salt, and bake those. And they're so extremely flavorful. It's much better than just the cabbage that's on the stove or even the stir-fried cabbage. So that's one of my favorites.
And you could do the same thing with cauliflower.
Absolutely. And my cauliflower mashed potatoes, I love those. Well, you know, they're mocked. Take the cauliflower, boil them, pour as much water off as possible, and then put in, if you can find a way to make something fattening, I can. And so put a whole stick of Kerrygold butter in, and then maybe even, when I'm doing the cauliflower, I also put parts of garlic in, and just boil those together, and maybe put in like maybe a half of an onion. Boil those together, pour the water off, then put in the stick of Kerrygold butter. Take your immersion mixer, and actually you can make those where they're the consistency of a nice, not creamy smooth mashed potato, but, you know, with a little firmness in it. They're absolutely delicious. You would prefer those over mashed potatoes.
Wow, that sounds great.
Favorite. Yeah, the cabbage with the cauliflower mash, absolutely excellent. I had to reincorporate meat because I couldn't have tofu, which had been my source of protein, along with beans and rice. And since there was an issue with beans, so I made a concession to reincorporate meat. And the first thing I did was to start with fish, and I got a very, very dry fish, as Richard had suggested, well, non-oily fish.
Right.
And I fried it. I would take it and I would put like red pepper on it, some salt, and then I would roll it in either the millet flour, or sometimes I've had rye flour, and fry it in the rice bran oil, and it would make a delicious fish sandwich on my good millet bread that I get from a bakery here. So there are a lot of really good ways that, you know, you can stay on the diet and not feel so deprived. But I'll think of some more vegetarian ones. So if Andrea will give me a call, I'll share those with her.
Okay. Also, Ethel had asked me to mention about how Morgellons can infest animals. So yes, you can get it from your pets and you can give it to them, dogs and cats. And they need to be treated as well. And there are very specific treatments that you can give them and food that you can give them that will help. So if anyone wants to know more about that, you can text me or call me and I'll go into it in detail.
Yes, we've done it in detail in some of the previous. You know, we've been recording these calls for a long time, and when the updates go out, if you scroll all the way down, you'll see each call and you'll see the subjects that were discussed in most of the calls, like an outline of the call. And pets have shown up many times.
Yeah.
Great. Anyone else have a question or would like to share your experience? Okay. Would you like to say anything, Robin, before we close?
No, but now I'm hungry listening to Ethel's recipes.
Me too.
No, I'm sorry for the sound issues today, guys. But,
I have a question really quick. Is anybody losing their hair?
Anybody losing their hair?
That is a common thing that happens. I'll just say quickly that red light therapy helps your hair grow back. And you can buy an inexpensive red light that's for red light therapy on Amazon, and you just sit under it for no more than 20 minutes a day. I was losing all my hair, and I don't have that issue anymore.
So your hair came back?
All of it, yeah. I mean,
You'll
it's
have to
short.
watch the video.
It's short, but there's plenty of it.
Because I lost half of my hair.
I know. It will get better, and red light therapy really helps.
Debriding your scalp helps.
Right,
yeah.
But I mean, it does. But red light therapy has been proven to help grow hair. That's what it does.
See, we have two things here. One, get them out of your scalp, and we've handled that many times in previous videos. And then getting the hair to grow back. And what Robin is doing is addressing specifically the question about getting your hair to grow back, not how to get them out of your scalp. That we've discussed many times.
Then you get your hair to grow back.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else with a question before we close?
Yes, Richard, me, Elizabeth from Los Angeles.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi. Richard, I work in a parking lot, and I got infected. And the book says, no matter what you use in the diet and you know the clean, all those things, but I have to take care of the environment. How can I clean the parking lot around me? Because I'm using ammonia. I put it on the floor around the chair that I sit in. And I don't know what
the parking lot outside. Robin's got the answer to that. Garden Safe Fungicide 3.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you spray it, and there's a kind that it will attach to a hose, and so it's already pre-mixed, and then you just spray it around your environment outside, and it makes a huge difference.
And it lasts a long time. I've used it on my parking lot and on twice already. I've got a pretty big area, and I still have more material in the bottle. So it's a good deal. It's quick. You just hook it to a garden hose, and you can spray a whole area real quick that way.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay. And I already I see a doctor. I'm seeing a doctor who is not naturopath, especially in Lyme disease, because I think I already have Lyme disease, and I have a 4 years already with Morgellons. It's so hard to because I am alone. I don't have a family. I don't have anything. Nobody to help me, and I have to. I know I have to follow up the doctor, but be careful with the diet, right?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely the diet. And have you read my report? Lyme disease doesn't have to own you anymore. Have you read the report?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Are you on the nutritional supplements, the basic package?
I taking the Morgellons pack supplement.
Okay, good. That has that. All right.
I'm gonna go after for the Cauliflower Lyme supplements. It's fine.
Right. Okay, you're on the right supplements, right? Okay.
Okay.
How long have you been using them?
I use him for let me see, for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. You should start noticing dramatic changes within 4 to 6 weeks. Significant improvements. Anyone else before we close up this Sunday?
Yeah, I'd like to say something, Richard.
Yes, Richard.
Yeah, Richard in San Antonio. The only areas that I'm affected at right now is in my head and on my eyebrows. And what I use is tree oil, put in my hair, and you can, minute you put it in there and massage it in, and you just let it set for a little bit, you can just feel the parasites trying to leave my head. You know, they're just, the tree oil is attacking them. Now, I use that, and another thing that I use is if during the day I feel some crawling around in my hair, I've got a white vinegar and tea tree oil mixed in a bottle, and I'll pour that over my head in the sink, and that also kills them. And one last thing that I use that is my good standby is a bottle of peppermint oil diluted with water. And they don't like that either, And any other suggestions?
Yeah, add some Nature's Gift to that. The tea tree oil and the peppermint oil are in the online store, and I would add a little Nature's Gift to that, especially if you're diluting anything with water, because oils and water don't mix. But if you put the oil in with the Nature's Gift and then add the water, then it is far more effective.
Okay, all righty. I'll do that then.
All right. Thanks. Anyone else have a suggestion, not a suggestion, a question or like to share? Well, I guess that's it. Would you like to do a Happy Cells song, Robin?
Sure.
All right, let's do a Happy Cells song. Robin is our resident musician, and the emails that come out announcing this program have her information on them as well. Sign up and join her, her channel. We have join our channel and join Robin's channel, and you'll get the information about her musical publications on YouTube.
Thank you. All right. Feel free to join in. All my cells are healthy and happy. Cells are healthy and happy and well. All my cells are healthy and happy. Cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well.
Thank you. We had a few people singing along there. That's great. All right. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. I want to thank Robin, my co-host, Ethel, our greeting coach, and go to the emails and name her doodle. You get $10 in our online store for naming her doodle. And if you tune in the program before 4 o'clock, you get entered in our drawing, and we're going to do the drawing after we close here in a few minutes. And you'll win either $20 or in our online store or a signed copy of my book, How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons, Chronic Lyme, and other skin parasites. Thank Chris for handling the mechanical aspects, the technical stuff that goes on. I wouldn't be here today because I wouldn't be able to even get my computer working. He came over earlier and got it all set up, so it's an ongoing process. So thank you, Chris. And thanks to everybody for tuning in. Love you all. Keep coming back. We're here so that you will come to us one day and say, thanks to you guys, I stuck with it. I got my life back. And thanks. Okay. Love you all. Bye-bye.